Thank you, Honor. Now, Sergeant Liu, before we took the break, you remember testifying that on Friday, February 14th? On Friday, February 14th, you had gone to the Nua Ailua scene where certain items were located. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
And one of the items you testified to was next to a yellow posting marked #1 on that day. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to show you what has been marked for identification as States Exhibit 146. Your Honor, may I approach?
You may approach the witness.
Take a look at States Exhibit 146, which has been marked for identification. Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
And what is that a photograph of?
This is a photograph, overall view of where the evidence was located on the floor of Nua Ailua.
And is the marking #1 in that photograph?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And does that photograph accurately depict the marking #1 as well as the area as you saw it back on Friday, February 14th, 2014?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, this time the state would move into evidence States Exhibit 146.
No objection. States Exhibit number 146, marked for identification purposes, is received in evidence.
And Your Honor, may I just briefly publish that?
You may do so.
Okay.
Yes.
Testified that you had participated in the interviewing of the defendant on 2 occasions on February 12th, 2014. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you have an opportunity to conduct an interview with the defendant a 3rd time?
Yes, sir.
And when did that occur?
February 28th, 2014, sir.
Prior to February 28, 2014, more specifically turning your attention to the day before, on February 27th, 2014, did you have occasion to meet with the defendant at that time?
Yes, sir.
And what was the purpose for that meeting?
When I met with Mr. Capobianco, we asked if he was willing to show us where his car stalled out.
And that was the information you had received during the first 2 interviews?
Yes, sir.
Now, the following day, did you make arrangements to interview the defendant a 3rd time?
Yes, sir.
And this being February 28, 2014?
Yes, sir.
And where did that interview take place?
At the Waluku station within the CID office.
Now, Sergeant, was that interview recorded like the first 2 interviews on February 12th, 2014?
Yes, sir.
And did you have a chance, after that interview was conducted or completed, did you have a chance to check the, I guess, the recording for accuracy?
Yes, sir.
And as far as you know, is that recording accurate?
Yes, sir.
Was a transcript prepared on that recording?
Yes, sir, it was.
And did you have a chance to review that transcript as well?
Yes, sir, I did.
And to the best of your knowledge, was that transcript accurate in substance to the recording?
Yes, sir.
Had either of them been changed or altered in any way?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
Who else, on the February 28th interview, did you conduct that alone or was another detective with you? Or lieutenant?
There's another officer, he was a detective who recently got promoted from detective to lieutenant.
And who was that?
BJ Gannon.
Now, you know, at this time, based on that foundation, the state would move into evidence what has been marked for identification as State's Exhibit 67, which is the recording, and State's Exhibit 68, which is a copy of the transcript of that recording.
Mr.
I'm sorry, the
I'm
state is
sorry.
not moving 68 into evidence, but just marking it for
Understood.
identification.
Mr. Upton.
Sorry, so is 67 being offered in evidence? Is that what-
67
Yes,
is being offered as an 8.
I'd have no objection to 67.
State's exhibit number 67, marked for identification purposes, is received in evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Your Honor, at this time, the state wishes to play that recording for the jury here, as well as provide the jury copies of what has been marked for identification as State's Exhibit 68, which is a transcript of that recording.
All right, and the record reflect that has been shared with the parties. The copies of the statement may be turned over to the bailiff and distributed to members of the jury.
Your Honor, may we approach in the meantime on the record?
You may do so. I'll ask the bailiff to distribute those copies while we play for you.
So, like I said, Steve, thanks for coming here, and I appreciate your cooperation and stuff.
Could we hold on?
I'm gonna advise you your rights, so
Thank you.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
That's quite all right. So we're going to be playing that for you. It's a long recording, so we will not finish the playing of the entire recording today. We'll conclude that on Tuesday when you come in. And then I read an instruction to you concerning how you treat the recording. That's the evidence. And you've been provided with transcripts as an aid to assisting you in following the playing of the recording. And keep in mind what I previously instructed you concerning how you treat the actual recording evidence and the statement that is being provided to you to assist you and will be collected by the bailiff once we're finished listening today. And then we'll return those to you on Tuesday, and then we'll conclude that and then collect them again. All right? All right. Anything else at this time, Mr. Rivera?
No, Your Honor, that's fine.
Mr. Paul?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Then you may commence playing.
Thank you.
State's exhibit number 67.
okay. So, like I said, Steve, thanks for coming here, and I appreciate your cooperation and stuff. I'm gonna advise you of your rights over here, yeah. At the end of each of these rights, you understand your rights. I just need you to initial, okay? So since before I ask you your questions, I'm gonna advise you of your rights. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. You have the right to remain silent. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Anything you say can be used against you in court.
Yes.
Okay. If you have the right to talk to the lawyer for advice before I ask you any questions, and I have a lawyer with you doing questioning. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before you question. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. If you are over the age of 18, so that doesn't apply to you. Can you read this statement out loud to me?
I understand the English language. I've read and heard the statement of my rights, and I understand what my rights are.
You understand your rights?
Yes.
Okay. Can you please sign it? Today is February 28th, and the time right now is 11:20 a.m. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So just initial that. There you go. Okay. Now that you've been advised of your rights and you understand what your rights are, would you like to waive your right to make a statement? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so today's date is February 28th, 2014. The time now is 11:20. We're speaking with Stephen Capobianco within CID room, interview room Alpha. Present with me is Detective William Gannon. Okay. Like I said, Steve, thanks for your cooperation and stuff. Detective Gannon, I'm running a fresh pair of eyes to help me. Maybe he can see something that I missed or something like that, help me out with this case. Because, you and I both, we really want to find Carter, and your baby, yeah? Okay. That's all. Detective Gannon has some questions and stuff that he needs to clarify with you. So, you know, I'm gonna turn it over to him at this time, and he can ask you what needs to be done, okay?
Yes, Steve, like I said, it's nice to meet you. I know you've been through a lot. Just for formality, we just start off with some basic information just to confirm and verify that it's you again, right? What is the spelling of your last name, your surname?
Capobianco.
Okay. And your legal first name?
Stephen, Levy, Steven.
Okay, and the middle name?
Nico, kind of like, I don't know how to spell it, so,
Okay, so short would be Nico,
yeah.
N-I-C-O,
N-I-K-O.
N-I-K-O.
And the other one's a Hawaiian name, and I just never bother. I don't write it down ever, so I never bother doing it.
What would your middle Hawaiian name make reference to?
They told me Misty Rain, but I'm not 100%. I never bothered to look it up.
And your date of birth?
October 6th, 1989.
Alright, where do you currently live?
225 Kalipo Place, Vancouver Way, 96708.
Okay, do you know how to spell your street? Kalipo? You say?
K-A-L-I-P-O Place.
Okay. And where are you currently employed?
Mono Foods, Mono Health Foods. How do you get?
What is your occupation there?
I'm a baker.
Okay. How long have you been employed there?
6 or 7 years.
Okay. What is it? So you've been always assigned as a baker, or you kind of moved around in the
Moved
store?
around quite a bit.
Okay. How long have you been a baker?
3 years running now.
Okay. You have a contact number? Cell phone, home phone?
Yeah. It's 808-359-4842.
Do you have any other phones?
No, not that are mine personally.
Okay. Are you currently under influence of any narcotics?
No.
Legal or illegal?
No.
Okay. And your state of mind? Clear, foggy?
Clear as can be.
Okay. Alright. And how tall are you?
6 foot, 5'11", something like that.
Okay. You understand your rights that we went over, like you said, you went over this form many times here, specifically form on the bottom lower right corner, NPD form number 103.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, so I know you've been through a lot, you know, and how are you holding out with this whole thing?
It's good as can be expected, I guess. I've been locked in my house since it started because my family fears for my safety. And just been trying to keep busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charlie, right?
Yeah.
Or Carly? How do you?
I call her Charlie.
You call her Charlie?
Yeah.
Okay. And how would you spell that? Charlie with a CH?
C-H-A-R-L-I.
Okay. All right. I guess going back onto Saturday would be February 8th.
I believe so.
Okay. Did you work that day at Mono Foods?
Yeah.
What time did you start work?
6:30 or 7, something like that.
In the morning? Okay. And what time were you done?
I don't quite remember, but it would have been around 2:30 or 3:30, somewhere in that area.
So your shift pretty much is 8 hours a day?
Yeah, but it's not a clocked 8 hours. It's just I show up, I do my job, when I'm done, I'm done.
Okay.
So sometimes it's 6 hours, sometimes it's 10 hours. It varies a lot.
Okay. And do you usually take a lunch break there, or do you leave the establishment?
I leave the building, but I just stay in the parking lot.
Okay. Where did you go that day for lunch?
I didn't, just to my truck in the parking lot probably. I don't recall specifically, but I don't leave either when I go on my break. I just, that gravel parking lot that they bulldozed below the post office is the Mono Foods employee parking lot technically. So my truck's always parked there, and I just walk up to my truck on my break, make sure it hasn't broken into or anything.
Okay.
Not that it ever has been, you just...
What kind of truck do you have?
Currently a 92 Toyota 4Runner.
Is that a straight front axle?
No.
No, swing arm? Independent suspension, I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. So four-wheel drive,
Yeah.
is that a V6 or inline 4?
It's the 3.0 V6,
6. How many miles on it?
120,000.
You had any problems with the head gasket or anything like that yet?
No, I think the head gasket was done before it got to me.
Okay. That was one of the problems, I think, with those vehicles, yeah?
Yeah, something about the original factory head gasket. It's got a hole in the wrong place and blows out here. But it just breaks eventually. But once you replace it once, it's supposed to be good after that.
Okay. And Going back to your lunch, so you don't recall if you went out and bought lunch or if you brought home lunch?
If I got anything, it would have been from Lana Foods. I don't shop anywhere else. I don't bring food home from home. I just get a snack from the store if I'm hungry, which I generally don't do on my break actually, because being a baker and working with food, I'm eating all day actually, which I'm probably not supposed to be doing.
At least your metabolism doesn't reflect that. You look like you kind of, thin and kind of good shape, so you're fortunate. Not like me. Yeah. All right, so you thinking you knocked off work 2 o'clock or something like that, right?
About, yeah.
Okay, and then what do you do after Saturday? Where do you go?
I'm pretty sure I just went home.
Did you leave in your truck?
Yeah.
By yourself?
Yeah.
And you went straight up to your place in Lake Hope?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, and what was the rest of your day like?
I don't recall too many specifics. I remember talking to Charlie at some point, sending her a few texts.
Okay, let's talk about the text you sent her. What do you remember sending her on Saturday?
I don't remember specifically. I think I probably just asked her if she wanted to hang out and talk or something. We hadn't talked very much since she got pregnant with my baby, and I didn't know about it until recently. So I was just trying to get dialogue started again, talking to her whenever I could, and keep communication open.
Okay, so with that incident when you I guess you mentioned you just found out that she was pregnant with your baby.
Yeah.
How far back from February 8th was that when you found out?
Maybe a month.
Okay. So January.
Sometime in January. I don't recall any.
Was it the beginning of January? Was it like shortly after New Year's?
I don't remember. I just remember getting a phone call from my friend Adam, who went down to the doctor's office with her and saw the baby's heartbeat on an ultrasound, and he called me. And that was when I got confirmation that she was going to have my child. So then I started calling her and talking to her, but I don't remember what date it was or specifically when it was.
So Adam went down. What is Adam's last name?
Adam Gaines.
Gaines.
Yeah.
Gaines.
Yeah.
So Adam goes down with Charlie to follow up. You don't know about it yet, though.
No.
So you got the call from Adam.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Charlie told Adam at that point in time that you're the father.
I'm guessing yes, actually.
I mean, I don't know, so tell me what you know. I mean, I don't know.
I told you what I know. I just got a call from Adam and said he heard my baby's heartbeat. So I called Charlie and asked her what was going on. We started talking. Most of the conversations went not very well at first. There wasn't any anger or anything. It was just unexpected, and I wasn't sure why she was doing it. But that's why I wanted to keep communication and dialogue open, because she's going to have my baby. I want to be part of its life. And yeah.
Okay, so Adam calls you and tells you just like that, I just heard your baby's heartbeat.
Yeah.
That's the first inclination you have of...
Somebody mentioned it before, but I didn't really believe them until...
Who mentioned it?
Her sister sent me a text at one point, said something about it.
Which sister is this?
Fiona.
Fiona. She mentions it to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And then that's how you hear about it?
Yeah, initially.
Okay, and then...
But again, I wasn't convinced until a good friend of mine, Adam, actually was like, yeah, I was at the doctor. That's your baby. So
Fiona tells you this how much time before you guys go down to...
I don't know.
Give me a time frame, guy. I mean, it's kind of significant news. How can you kind of, you know what I mean? I know somebody told me, a girl told me, hey man, guess what? You're pregnant. I'd be like, really?
Well, it caught me off guard.
It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I know it catch me off guard too. But okay, so you got January, you got the word from Steven, right?
Yeah.
Would it be...
From Adam.
Sorry, Adam. Would it be around Christmas time, December, that you heard from Fiona?
I really don't remember.
Okay. But Fiona tells you what?
She just sent me a text that said, so Charlie's condition, and I asked her, and she's like, Charlie's pregnant with your baby. And then I tried to call Charlie about it, but Charlie never talked to me, so I brushed it aside until Adam told me.
How's the relationship between Fiona and Charlie?
As far as I know, it's good.
And that was from, who did you talk to more, Fiona or Charlie?
I guess Charlie. Yeah.
Okay. So it's my understanding that I guess you and Charlie were intimate and exclusive at one point in time.
Yeah, many years ago.
Okay. 2, 3 years?
I think it ended 3 or 4 years ago, but I can't recall exactly when it was.
Yeah. And then I guess you guys, got together at some point in time, at that point, I guess you found out the child, she was 5 months along?
Yeah. So 5 months before that, I actually remember that night because my current girlfriend at the time, I had just found out she was cheating on me. So I went to a bar and had a few drinks, and I saw Charlie at the bar, and then we just ended up hooking up.
Okay. Where did you guys hook up at?
Her house.
Okay. And it was just a one-night thing?
Yeah.
Did you sleep overnight?
I did sleep over the night. And then woke up in the morning before the sun was actually out entirely and bailed.
And did you have any communication with her after that hookup?
We talked a few times maybe, but it was always just in passing. Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you, that kind of stuff.
Would she come to Amana Foods and visit, or?
No, I work in the downstairs of the building anyway, so people can't see me when I'm working. And she may have come to Mon Foods many times. I know she shops there, but I never really saw her in there.
Okay. So after that, I mean, you guys didn't communicate a lot after that one hookup?
No, not really, but it wasn't that unusual. We didn't really keep in great contact the entire time anyway.
And then that contact would be via what? Phone or text?
Messaging.
Internet?
Yeah.
Facebooking?
Yeah. It's always texting.
Okay. So you find out from Fiona about this rumor at that point from Fiona.
Yeah.
You don't contact Charlie and go, what's up, what do I hear?
I tried to, but I left several voicemails. She never got back to me. So I figured it was either taken care of or a lie of some kind or just somebody's fabrication. I don't know. I just brushed it aside because she never got back to me, so I figured it wasn't true. I figured if it was true, she would have gotten back to me right away. She'd want any help she could get raising a baby, right? But she didn't. A friend of mine, Adam, said it was because she might have been scared of the way I was going to react. Because I'm not really sure why. That's just what he said.
Okay. And then as far, what were your thoughts, man? I mean, as far as, did she get pregnant before from you?
Maybe.
Okay.
I think she mentioned it once, but she just got it terminated.
Okay, and that was through conversation with the both of you as adults?
Yeah.
Okay, so she did that. Did she get that termination here in Maui? Were you there with her? Did you take her and drop her off? Kind of support her in that, or?
I think she actually did it without me knowing at first. I think I found out after the fact.
Okay. And where did she say she did that? I mean, it's pretty traumatic, huh?
Yeah. That's actually how I found out, was I caught her crying in the middle of the night once when I woke up to go to the bathroom. I think she got it done at Planned Parenthood in Honolulu, but I'm not positive. Again, I wasn't.
No problem. I mean, I know you didn't go there and drop her off and pick her up kind of thing.
Yeah.
So is this the only termination that she had?
That I'm aware of.
Okay. With you as being the father?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was her initial thoughts about you? I mean, what were her thoughts? I mean, did she really care for you? Love you? You guys talk about marriage and family? I mean,
No, I'm not marriage, but
you're not the married type, huh?
when we were together, everything was great. We talked about being together for a long time. Neither of us ever brought up marriage. I don't really believe in it, and I don't talk about it, so I never really got her opinion on it. And at that time, I was only like 20, 19, something like that. So I can imagine, if you can imagine when you were 19 or 20, I don't think you were rushing out to get married.
Not even.
But we did love each other. I mean, I loved her. I assume she loved me. She was always there cleaning up my mess and making dinner for me when I came home, so.
Okay. All right. And then, okay, so we go back with Fiona and you hear this and then Adam calls you up. All right. And you try to reach out and communicate with her.
Yeah.
So after Adam told you I just heard your new heartbeat.
I immediately called Charlie. It's like, so now there's no getting around it. My friend Adam told me, and Adam's her good friend too, so he wouldn't lie to either of us. There's no hiding from it at that point. She called me back within an hour of that voicemail. And we got together and we talked, and she explained why she wanted to have it, and
What'd she say?
that when she first got pregnant, she was going to terminate it. She wasn't ready for a child. And she had to save up some money to do so. And in the time it took her to save up some money, she talked to somebody about it, and they were like, why don't you just take a couple of days and really think about that and see what it is. And she started thinking about keeping it. I guess it was never an option to her before, the way she explained it to me that day. But when she started thinking about keeping it, she started sleeping better, and she started feeling better and being happier, so it changed her mind. She decided she wanted to start a family.
And this conversation is on the phone or face to face?
This was face to face.
At where?
I think we were just driving around in her truck in Makwa somewhere. It's like the first time we had seen each other since we had hooked up that night, so neither of us were really comfortable going over to each other's houses right that second. And actually, she's not allowed in my house because her and my grandfather got some history.
What kind of history?
I forget what exactly happened, but she freaked out and she walked outside and she started trying to break one of our windows on the car, on my Nissan Sentra at the time. And so, I mean, it was just destruction of my grandfather's property, and he doesn't tolerate that. So he told her she couldn't come back to the house.
So your grandfather told Charlie you're not welcome at the residence?
Yeah.
And how long ago was this?
Years ago.
Years ago. Okay, so you guys are driving around and you guys are talking. So did you explain to her? I mean, truly what you thought? I mean, you weren't ready for this type of commitment?
I did. I told her that I wasn't prepared for it. Nobody's ever ready to have a baby. And I wanted to hear her explanation. And when she told me that it was making her happy, I considered it. It's like I told her I couldn't be her husband. That's just not who we were anymore. I couldn't make that work. But I'll be there for the baby in every way I could. And yeah, I urged her to think about it. But I left the choice up to her. It's her body. If she's gonna have a baby, then I'll be there for it.
You requested though, I mean, you said,
I asked that she think about it. I didn't say that I wanted her to terminate it or anything like that. I just wanted her to seriously think about what she was doing. Because that's a big step for anybody.
Yeah, I hear you. And the fact that, you made contact with her, you tried to reach out and verify this rumor through Fiona,
Yeah.
and you don't get a response for what, a month plus, maybe?
About something like that.
And then now you find out through your friend Adam. I mean, I wouldn't be too thrilled about it myself,
I wasn't thrilled about her withholding information, but
Okay,
she said at one point that she was scared of everybody's reaction, actually, not just mine. So she wasn't telling a lot of people at first. I think her family only found out a month or two before all of this stuff started happening.
okay. Did you tell anybody when you got the news besides Adam? I mean, obviously you knew.
I told a few people, but
Yeah.
still wasn't sure what was going to happen.
Who'd you talk to?
Coworker of mine, John,
Was he the only John at Mana?
the only John in the Mon Foods Bakery.
Okay, so Baker, he just helps you out there?
Yeah, he's a
Alright.
full-time employee down there.
And then who else? Did you tell your grandpa or?
No, that was a conversation I didn't want to have. I told my little cousin, then I told my current girlfriend at the time.
And who was your current girlfriend at the time?
Her name's Cassie.
Cassie. And your little cousin is how little?
19, I think, 18.
So she's an adult.
Yeah,
What's
she was
her-
just here yesterday. Did you guys catch her age?
What's her name?
Danielle Schaefer.
Oh, okay. All right, so those are the people that you talked to after the fact. All right. So Charlie, obviously her family found out, right?
Yeah.
Were you still in communication with Fiona?
At that point, no.
Why not?
There's a little bit of history there, and I try not to talk to Fiona a lot because after I broke up with Charlie, I ended up sleeping with Fiona a couple of times. And it just kind of set the family off. They didn't like that, obviously. So me and her kept in communication because we were still friends and everything was fine between us, but her family just did not like me, so.
Okay, so when was the last time you were intimate with Fiona?
Years ago, it was right
Your
after.
Honor, may we object and approach, Your Honor, please?